Hello, thanks for watching this video. In this video, I have purchased three different type of tDCS from Copetron company, and I want to just review my experience with these three devices, and if someone else is seeking for the same product, you can choose the best one which fits to your needs. Okay, so I start with this one. It's Activedose II. So this one, it's only tDCS, so it's the direct current. The current is always fixed, so you can choose the time. This is the dose. It is time. It is the time times the current. So, for example, when it is 60, if you put it on 2 milliamp, it will be equivalent to 30 minutes of stimulation. And the right hand side, it's for deciding how much of amperage. This is in milliamp. So there are two little LEDs here. One is for the battery in the case the battery is too weak, and the other one is the rejection if you don't put the electrodes on your head and then you turn it on, then it will it starts blinking at any time if you feel uncomfortable, because if you are not used to it and you are using it for the first time, it might be a little bit scary at the first time use, because you may feel some flashing in your eyes, because especially when you choose the montage which has one electrode close to your eyes, then you will see some flashing in your eyes, but it's not really that scary after several time of use. And to avoid that, you can always this one is a 4 milliamp active dose, so you can increase it until 4 milliamp, but really even up to 2.5, that will be too much. So I don't think you really need to increase it more than 2.5. So there are different montage. I will talk about the montage a little bit later. So that's a pretty stable device. It's not that heavy. I made a neck bag, so I put it, because it's difficult. This comes with such a box, and it's difficult to sit down for 30 minutes and just not moving around. So I made this bag myself. So I put it in the bag. I just hang it on my neck, and I can also move around while I do the stimulation. It comes with a strip. This is I did not like it a lot, so I made my own strip. I'm just looking on my table where it is. Not that one. So it was around. Okay, I don't find it. Yeah, I just found it. So I made this strip myself. So it's just you can buy it from a store in a very low price. It's two bands, different bands, and you can easily put it on your head, and one band is good for to keep one of the electrodes. The other one keeps the second electrode in the different position, so it's really convenient this way. And these are just sawed at these 2 points, so it doesn't allow this one to move back and the electrode get disconnected. So just it's for heads up, when you are doing a stimulation, you have to make sure that you don't move the electrodes, because if the sponge lose contact with the skin, you will see a very strong flash in your eyesight, which is really scary. So just make sure during the stimulation the sponge does not lose contact with your skin. Okay, that's for Activedose. It's really great. The battery, it's a Duracell battery, heavy duty. I use it for over 3 months and it's still working fine. So it's really low consumption device. So you can just buy one battery for at least 3 months and you can use it 1 hour per day for stimulation. I should also tell you about the electrodes. So this one, the Activedose, it comes with special electrodes, but the electrodes are, I'm just trying to find one of the okay, I was just looking for the electrode to show you. So there is a metal part here that you can plug in the jack. I just took it off, but I'm not able to find it right now. Anyways, so these electrodes are a little bit expensive, and when you use it several times, then you will see some parts start to melt. So after a month or a month and a half, you have to change. But the electrodes are pretty expensive, at least for students. I feel it's expensive. So I just bought my own I don't know what this like filter, this a steel filter. It is, I think, mesh 50. You can find it on eBay. I bought, and I just had my own spot welder machine. Actually, I made it myself as well, using a microwave transformator. I will explain how to build a spot welding machine in a separate video. So I just made my own electrodes, which is really economic that way. You can just make as many as you like. You just have to also there are some nickel strips you need for the part that you want to plug the jack. You also require some if I pause the video for a second to look up where it is, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back now. So what I was talking about, the nickel strips, you can buy it. This is 0.8 I think 0.8 millimeter thickness. These are not very expensive, and the filter you can also buy 50 mesh. It's on eBay, both of them. And then you just have to do some spot welding here, and yeah, that's this one. I show you the original electrode. So the original electrode looks like this, but yeah, I just made my own, and it works just fine. So you just have to make something like here, like curvy shape for here, to be able to plug the jack. Then you will save $20, because each of electrodes costs you 10 US dollar. Okay, that's for the electrodes. I hope that helps. Also, the sponges, you have to put it in the water, and then it goes completely inside the electrode, but it's really not convenient for me because every time I have to wash the electrodes, wash the sponge. I have to take it out, put it in. So what I did, I just this is too dry, so it's small, but if I put it in the water, it becomes the same. I can just show you. So I just put some water, and you see it starts to enlarge, and that you can see it will it enlarge and fits to the side. So this way it's much easier to take off the sponge and put it back. You can use this, or in some stores some washing scotch. I just got these from a very cheap store, and I cut it same size. So this is also $10 saving in sponges. It's also as good as this one. It absorbs water pretty well. So that's another thing that can help in the case you don't want to pay for electrodes and sponges regularly. Okay, let's go to this one. This one it costs about 350 US, and you also have to pay for shipping from US to your country. This one is around 150. It's brain driver. So this one is also pretty good. It does essentially the same job. The only difference, some of the differences is this one, it goes up to 2 milliamp. This one goes up to 4. There are options of 2 and 4, but I chose to get 4. So for Activedose you can buy 2 if you don't want to use more than 2 milliamp. So this one it's 2. I try to turn it on. It doesn't. Okay, it turns on, but let me tell you something about this. There is a problem with brain driver. I have discussed it with the Caputron company, and it says the problem with this is the battery dies really fast, and the reason for that is the device continuously is checking if you have pressed power button or not. So that's constantly using the battery even when you are not using it. So what I did, I just put a little switch. I opened it, and then I did some little I put it in on the circuit. So if I if I don't want to use it for a long time, I just disconnect the battery from the circuit, so the battery is not in the circuit, so it will not consume, so battery can last longer. Such a problem doesn't exist for Activedose. Even if you don't use Activedose for a long time, the battery stays really it doesn't discharge. So this is self-discharge problem. The other problem with this is the small electrodes. This one comes with with the brain driver, but the good thing is the plug for Activedose is the same as the plug for brain driver, so you can easily use this here. So so it means if you make an electrode for this one, you don't need to, and if you have the cable for this, you can just use it on here. So I just turn it on. Yeah, so this if I turn off the switch, it doesn't turn on anymore because the battery is not on in the circuit. Now I just switch, now it turns on. So here you have the timer. You can choose 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Then it shows how much charge is in the battery. Then you can choose the milliamp. So my suggestion is when you start, don't start with like 2. You can start from half milliamp, and then after few minutes, 2-3 minutes, you increase it to 1, and then after 2-3 minutes to 1.5, and then at 2. That way you don't feel too much of burning under the sponges. So yeah, that's the when the stimulation time is finished, there will be a little light, a flashing light in your eyes once simulation is over. um, I think the ramping up and down in brain driver is not as good as ramping up and down in active dose, because when the simulation period is over, you don't really see any flashing in your eyes. But in brain driver, it's not that uh, inconvenient, but still you can feel it. And now uh, here we are with the this uh, with this little tDCS device. You can compare the size. It's really small. So for this one, the difference of this one with these are two essential difference. Is one difference one of them is this one is chargeable. These two, they have external battery. So this one is charges with the USB cable. The other difference is these are just tDCS, so it's just direct current. This one is not tDCS, it's tDCS plus four other waveforms. It's a TRNS, which is a random current, and then TPCS, I think it's a random pulse stimulation, and there is tACS, which is alternating current stimulation. So they are they are you can just get pretty much the same result from the other two comparing to this one. So I was just curious to see how the different waveform would work. So there is a little joystick here. You can just go into setting. You can also connect to your cell phone via Bluetooth, and control the tDCS device using your phone app. It's an Android app. I'm not sure if there is an app for it on iOS. That's I really like that one more, because just here, if you want to, here it shows what type of stimulation you want. This is TRNS, it's random current, and then it's 30 minutes, and the maximum voltage is 60 volts. By the way, the voltage for this one, the 4 milliamp active dose, is 29 volt and I think 60 volt, or probably 80 volt. I have to double check. This one is 22 or 26. The V3, this is V3 focus, it goes up to 60 volts. So you here in these two, you don't have control over voltage, you don't have control over waveform or unipolar. You don't have the sham. It is a specific type of stimulation, which does not exist in these two, but it is here. Here there are a lot more options. What else I can say about this? So as I said, you can connect it to the phone, and you have much easier access to the setting. I'm using my phone for recording video, so unfortunately I cannot show you how the app look like. There are two apps, in fact, but the app which is created for V3 version doesn't connect to V3 using Bluetooth. So, but there is an app which is created for version V2, but still it works with version V3. So I'm using that one, and it's pretty good, convenient. Yeah, that's pretty much about what I was going to say. About the battery lifetime, this has a 3.7 200 milliamp battery. It's lithium polymer battery inside. The battery after a full charge can give you about 1 hour of stimulation, sometimes more, in the highest current and also highest voltage. So it's good. If I don't think you need more than 1 hour of stimulation per day. And yeah, so there is also airplane mode that is really good, when you can turn it off when you're taking a plane. And yeah, I guess that's all. In the case you have question about details about these 3 devices, I can share my experience with you. I can also tell you what montage I have tried. So before I think I remember something that I have. It's good to mention here. So this one is the headband for which comes with the V3. I also don't use this one. There is also magnetic electrodes. This one sticks here, and there are the sponges. They are too small. You should remember that if the sponges are too small, you will feel more burning feeling under the sponges. So these sponges, the size of the electrode is 3.5 centimeter, 3.5 centimeter. Just the outer part. The inner part is 2.5, 2.5. So this one is because the current will be distributed over this, so you don't feel that much feeling of burn under the sponges. Also, this one covers more area on your brain, so it will just wakes up more parts of your neurons in your brain. Okay, yeah, that's it. And there is no red and black on this V3, but according to what I checked, X stands for red, and Y stands for black. So this, if you want to use the original cable coming with this, I didn't want to just make any change on the electrodes, so I just got a different cable and made the electrode. Yeah. For the montage, that's I think the last thing I would discuss today is 3 montage I've tried, and that has been really helpful. It is the montages I used. It helps just improving your mood. It reduces your obsessive compulsive disorder. Also, it reduces your stress. It increases your short-term and long-term memory, and it increases your socialization. So what are the montages? I will tell you one by one. So there are 3 montages that I use, and it's they are pretty I've tried it for more than 3 months, and the outcome was really significant. So I'm just looking up the montage, what they are. Yeah, so the montage that so I for each part of the brain there is a letter and a number associated with it, so that it will locate a specific part of the brain. So for the first montage, you put the red one uh, in position F3, and then the black in position F2, FP2. So red in F3 and black on FP2. This is good for improving depression, reducing the obsessive compulsive disorder, and reduces your stress. The other montage is you put the red FP1, and then you put the black at F4. So basically, the difference of this second montage with the first montage is just the location of the electrode. In the previous montage, the red moves down and the black moves up. So if you check this montage, you will see that how the electrodes are placed. So the first one was red F3 and black FP2. The second one is red FP1 and black F4. Okay, so the second one is for improving the socialization. And the last one I would tell you is you put the red in the same place, you don't touch it. So FP1, it remains at FP1. Then the black one, you put it on the opposite shoulder. So it's difficult to keep the electrode on the shoulder. So what I do, I put one of these headbands around my neck, and then I just put it beside my neck on the opposite side of where the electrode is located. In fact, the red electrode in the 3 montages I mentioned, they are all located in left hand side, and the other electrode is always on the opposite side, so it is the black one is on right hand side. So the last one, this last montage, which is this one is at the red one is at FP1 and the black is on shoulder or neck on the opposite side. It will help you to improve your short and long memory. That was about 6 months of experience using these 3 devices. I think I should also tell you about how to make for making saline, the salty water. You just need 1 glass of water and half tablespoon of salt, and then just mix it. You can make your own salty water. If you use too much salt, then it will start to destroy the filter faster, and you may feel more burning sense under the sponges. So if you have this problem, then you can just reduce the amount of salt. Then that should but salt should be always there, because that will allow the current to pass through the sponges. Well, I talked too much. I didn't plan to make this video too long, but I wanted this to be somewhere recorded for people who may need some help and they are disappointed with medication. So these 3 devices, they really change things. But keep in mind that if you really have like disorder in the brain, these devices make significant result. If your brain just works normal, you may not feel any difference. So don't get disappointed. These devices doesn't make you like super intelligent. It just makes your brain to work as normal. Yeah, so if you have any other question, please feel free to drop me a message, and I try to get back to you as soon as possible, so you can make your choice which of these would be better for you for your needs. So talk to you next time.